So in this program, uh, we are going to implement ID3 algorithm and use it on a dataset. So the dataset will be a play tennis dataset, so which we have seen in the problem, and also already we have solved the problem in the theory section. So we will proceed with the question now. So write a program to demonstrate the working of the decision tree based on ID3 algorithm. So write an appropriate use an appropriate data set for building the decision tree and apply this knowledge to classify a new sample. So this will be the question. So we'll have another look at the data set. So we have already solved the problem on this. So just to revise the data set, we have just displayed this one. This will be our data set, and this is the algorithm. We'll start with the algorithm now. So let's see the algorithm first. Let's understand that one. So ID3. So what are the input parameters for ID3? First is the example, our data set. Okay. So target attribute. In this case, the target attribute value is enjoy sport. Enjoy sport attribute is the target attribute. Yes, no, we classify target attribute. Other attributes, the temperature, humidity, those things. Okay, so what are the attributes, which is the target attribute, and also the example, the data set we pass on to as parameters to the ID3 algorithm. So create a root. So next step is create a root for the tree. Okay, so we had outlook, so we have not decided, there is a root now still. Okay, so the root, so if the all examples are positive, there is possibility that we had a mixture of positive and negative in our table, but suppose all examples are positive, so what do we do? So return the single node tree root. So root itself for some one attribute, first attribute what we consider. Okay, so all are positive, take any attribute value. In this case let's assume we will take a first attribute value and name it as root, and that's it. Okay, so all are positive. If that value is there, it is positive. Okay, so all are positive. Similarly, if all the examples or our data set contains negative classification, no classification. Okay, so that's also just, it's a single root in the tree. You don't need to make any decisions because the entire data set contains positive or negative examples, right? So so these two are to check all examples are positive, all examples are negative. So next one is to check, suppose you take an attribute value and all classifies to yes or no. For example, when we took in our problem, outlook is for yes. Okay, sorry, for outlook we had overcast, and the only one classification we had, right, that is yes, that's it. Okay, so that's what we are returning here. So we have attribute outlook, overcast is there, after that we don't have anything. Okay, so all are classified to yes. Okay, so in those case, return with the most common value of the target attribute. Most common value is there, yes. Suppose, let's assume, okay, so if the most common attribute was no for outlook overcast, if all the instances were no instead of yes, then we would write no here, if that was the case, assuming it was no. Okay, so so this is to check if all attribute values are positive. If you in the table all attributes are negative, so this is to check. Okay, so suppose you have built a tree. Okay, so then go on looking for attributes value. Okay, so given for that attribute value, if a single type of classification is present, for example all yes, all no, then return the most common value of target attribute, that is all are yes, all are no, that kind of a leaf we attach. So if these, after checking these three conditions, required conditions, later we'll start with the uh, our execution. Okay, so take attribute a. Okay, so from number of attributes means all the attributes, take one attribute, some called a, from all the available attributes that best classifies the example. So what does this mean? That means whichever has the highest information gain. Okay, so we have been calculating the information gain, right? So information gain signifies how best the given attribute classifies the given table. Okay, so whichever has the highest information gain, so we will, from the list of attributes available, so we take that kind of that one attribute value. Okay, so whichever has the highest information gain. So okay, so we make it as root. For example, so we are taking here Outlook. Okay, so for each possible value vi for a, so we had I think sunny. For each value, sunny, overcast, and rain, right? So for each of the values vi of a, add a new tree branch root. So we were adding new tree branch below the root corresponding to the value of that selected attribute. Okay, so after selecting the root, now so let examples vi be the set of example that have value vi for attribute value. So remember that while considering the information gain for the next subtree here, okay, after sunny, so what will be, so information gain when outlook is sunny, outlook equal to sunny, and humidity, temperature, everything we calculated, and humidity eventually had the highest information gain. Okay, so we calculated that one, right? So outlook equal to sunny and humidity, so you calculate, right? So for sunny you calculate, for overcast you calculate, for rain calculate. So that's what it's saying here. So while calculating this, we are considering only the instances where outlook equal to sunny. So that's what we are telling here. So let examples of vi, examples of sunny, overcast, rain, so be a subset of examples that have value vi for a. So we are creating a subset of table, our original table, such that outlook equal to sunny, we are considering only the instances where outlook equal to sunny, right? So that's what it's telling here. So create a subset of the examples. Okay, so where the attribute have particular vi value. Vi means it may be sunny, overcast, or rain. So next come here. So if the examples of vi is empty, so consider here outlook equal to overcast, you will get some instances. Okay, so done, you have all the same classifications, and you don't have to calculate further. Okay, so that's what being told here. So okay, so after you make the subset, if it is empty, that means suppose if you have sunny, humidity, sunny, and temperature, so if you have chances of that one, then it is not empty. So you don't ever have that kind of chances. Okay, so if you take outlook equal to overcast, then everything becomes yes. Okay, so after that there is nothing to calculate, right? So if that kind of condition is met, then add a new leaf node with the label equal to most common value of the target attribute. Target attributes value are yes and no in our table. So most common value is, if you get outlook equal to overcast, then everything is yes. So if that is not the case, then below add a new subtree and call id3 again. So all that calculating information gain and selecting the best attribute value, everything starts again. So in this case, add a new subtree. Okay, so calculate the information gain. So the subtree will be having a sub table where the outlook equal to sunny. Okay, some 5 instances will be there, I think. Okay, so outlook equal to sunny instances. Okay, so take and calculate for id3 for humidity. Consider that only those instances are there in the table, and continue here. So outlook equal to rain. Consider that only those instances, and then call id3 again. Okay, so this is about id3 algorithm. So it's just like our problem. Okay, so first you call id3. Okay, so create a route. So then if all the positive classification our table have, then same that leaf you return, as all are negative, same leaf you return. So if that is not the case, so for some particular attribute value, if you have same classification then return that most common value, so yes or no, same classification what you have. Okay, so then you start using information gain. Best classifies means you are calculating information gain, and whichever has the highest information gain, you are selecting that attribute. Okay, so whichever has the highest information gain, take that as a root. Okay, so for each of the values of that attribute value, uh, corresponding subset of the table you make. Okay, so for that table you apply, you see that table. So if there is chances that further attribute values like humidity and everything can be calculated, then call id3. So for that particular attribute values straight away classification you are getting, then that common classification you add as leaf. Okay, so that will be about id3 algorithm. Okay, so we'll start with the program now. So we will import pandas. From that we have, as we have seen in the previous programs, we have package of data frame. Okay, so we'll read our play tennis.csv in the tennis variable. Okay, so I'll print that one. Okay, so next, so this one prints our data set. So this prints our data set. So we have our definition or function for calculating the entropy. So props means probabilities. Remember here the negative probability means, for example, out of 6 instances, out of 14 instances, then there are, for I think 9 which are positive. Okay, so then uh, 5 which were negative, something. So we had like this. Okay, so we have, once we get the probability, so entropy calculation is directly apply log 2 to it, right? So that's what is probability. So log 2 in the probabilities. Okay, so this probability so contains two values. One is uh, uh, p plus probability. So what we have, so another one is p minus probability. So for both so that's why the for prob in probs means both you have. Okay, so each one iterate, you have to iterate through each one of them. So that's why for the positive probability in this, and for negative probability in this. Okay, probability of negative instances, probability of positive instances. For those, for both you take a log 2 and minus probability. So this formula we have implemented in the entropy. Okay, so again, so this is an entropy definition. Okay, props means it contains probability of negative instances also, and probability of positive instances also. So we iterate through props because two values are there, probabilities are there, probability values are there. Okay, so we iterate through props. Okay, so and we find the log to it. Okay, so we find the log to it. That's what we are doing here. We have implemented the entropy formula here. So next we go on to the entropy of the list. Here this function implements the formula. So this function, it takes input the list or the table which we give as a input, and calculates the entropy for that one. Okay, so this one implements the formula. So this one performs the entire function of calculation of entropy. Okay, so what do we do here? So we will take the table as input. Okay, then so next what we have to do, so first we have to segregate a positive example, number of positive examples and number of negative examples, right? So that is done by the inbuilt function counter. So suppose you have positive and negative example, something like this. Okay, so or any other type of class, different symbols, for example yes, 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 no, 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 something like this, any different values. Okay, so maybe star also, let's assume. Okay, so then this counter package, what it does, our method, so it counts up how many different types of values are there, how many plus are there, how many minus are there. If there was star, then how many star were there. Okay, so how many yes are there, how many no are there. So this is what it for a given uh, uh, column it will count. Okay, so it will count how many different types of values are there. Okay, so there are two different of types of values are there, plus and minus, and how many of them are there. So this count will be storing initially 9 comma 5, 9 positive examples and 5 negative examples we have in our table, right? So number of instances is total 14 number of instances of 14 number is there. So probabilities equal to x. First time it will be 9 by 14. The second time will be, it will be 5 by 14. You don't have to iterate through them, it is both stored in the count. Okay, so if we directly take uh, number of instance x in count dot values, if you take you will directly get. Okay, uh, for x in count dot values you have, so you 9, so x you have, so in the second iteration 5 will get. Okay, so x by number of instances. Okay, this is the formula we are doing. Okay, here x you need to iterate because there are two values, right? 9 and 5 you have. Okay, so return entropy of props. So you calculated what is the value of props, then call the formula, so which we have done here, call the formula. So this will be the way to calculate the entropy given the table for us. Next we go on to find the information gain. So for the information gain, what do we want? We want our data. Okay, so then split attribute name. Split attribute means outlook equal to sunny and humidity, so like that. Okay, so outlook equal to sunny. Okay, so those type of split attribute name we want. So along with that target attribute, enjoy sport. Okay, so target attribute name we want. Okay, so after that we group by the split attribute name. So outlook equal to sunny. Okay, so this is the what we need our split attribute. We group the by that. Okay, so we group that outlook equal to sunny. If we give like that, so we'll group all the rows which has the value outlook equal to sunny. So this one next line tells us what will be the length of the our total data set. So whenever subtrees are being joined, so there will be a small number of data set. Okay, so a smaller number of instances instead of 14. Okay, so this is calculate in our subtable how many instances are there, so that count will keep. So this one is a built-in function. So what it does, it splits and aggregates the value. Okay, so what it exactly is, so it gives us we have a formula, right, for information gain. Entropy of s minus summation of, that's what aggregate does. Okay, so for a given particular value of that uh, attribute. Okay, so what is the divided by total number of instances in the table, so entropy of that particular attribute. Okay, so that particular attribute name will be selected here. Okay, so divided by knobs, see this one, divided by knobs. And also, so while calculating this entropy, we need the target attribute name, because to finally classify how many are positive and how many are negative, right? So this one is given as an input. This is an inbuilt function. Okay, so this part this part is done by, so this one. Okay, so at the end here, so what will we be getting? We will be getting the entropies of all the possibilities. For example, uh, for outlook equal to sunny, later for humidity we had the value high and normal. Okay, so for normal, what is the value? For entropy for normal, what did you have? So for outlook equal to sunny, humidity equal to normal, what did we have? So outlook equal to sunny, humidity equal to high, what is the entropy we have, and corresponding this value we will be having. Okay, so that will be stored here, yeah, and we give it a column names here, entropy and observations. Okay, so we give the column names. So this one is the entropy column name we give, and also prop observation the column name we give. Okay, these two later we need to multiply and summate, right? So that is done in this one. Okay, so we are multiplying and finding the sum. That will be our, we are keeping it as a new entropy. So this whole thing we are giving a name new entropy. So what for the entire table we calculated, we are giving the name old entropy. So later what we have to do? So we have to do old entropy minus this new entropy. Okay, so in this information gain we are implementing this formula. So next is directly we are defining the function about how ID3 works. So main ID3 method we are implementing. So we need target attribute name, all the attribute names. Okay, so and the data set we need. So first we need to consider how many positive and negative example are there. So we do it through counter here. Okay, so later if the length of the count is only one, that means that only one instance is there, then return. So otherwise, after that, if how many positive are there, negative are there, based on that, if we see only yes or no, so depending upon that attribute value, only if the table is empty, that if the table is empty means after, for example, humidity equal to yes, so there is no further classification, right? So if we find something like that situation that we saw in the algorithm, return the default class. Okay, so otherwise, so if both those are, then we are calculating information gain, right? So we'll get the gains equal to we get the information gain. So information gain means we get information gain for different attributes, and the highest information attribute with the highest information gain we select, right? So that's why gains, max of gains will be selected, okay, and stored in the index of max. Okay, so and we will store it as a best attribute. Okay, so then we construct the tree. Okay, so then we construct the tree as a dictionary. We will construct the tree not as the lines what we draw. So we are creating a dictionary such that it represents the tree. So whenever a new subtree is to be added, so create a dictionary values and insert it to the main dictionary. So this is how we are doing. So what we are doing in ID3, so we take the table, so segregate them into positive and negative through counter, how many the values. Okay, later we check that if the count is 1. Okay, so if the count is 1 means only yes is there, only length of count, for example, yes and no is there. Okay, so the length of count will be 2 here. So yes, no, I don't know, something like that is there. So length of count will be 3. So if only one classification is there, only yes, only no classification is there, then length of count will be 1. Okay, so if that is the case, then return same classification. So again, as the attribute, as in the algorithm, whenever when we don't have when we have an empty table, so return the class. So that class also we saw. Okay, so later if those things doesn't happen, so next is we calculate the gain. Okay, so we will get the gain for all the attribute values. Okay, so for all those attribute values, we select the maximum one. Okay, so attribute value with the maximum information gain. So those information gain will be the next attribute value with the node which we attach to the tree. So how are we representing the tree? We are representing it as in a dictionary form. We are representing. So main dictionary tree best attribute, for example outlook here best attribute. Okay, so we created the root. So inside that, whenever we get a new node, so we create a subtree by creating dictionary and attaching here. Okay, so that's how we create a subtree in a dictionary form. So we'll see the execution of the program. So then we will come to know how it looks, if we are storing in a dictionary form, how it looks. So you can see the execution of the program here. So play tennis, this is our data set which we have uh, considered. Okay, so see the decision tree which in a dictionary form we have given. Okay, so the first value is outlook. So for outlook there are three values of overcast, rain and sunny. So for overcast, yes is there. For rain there is again a subtree in the dictionary form, that is wind. For wind, so we have strong. If it is strong it is then no, if it is weak then yes we have. So here for humidity we have high and normal. For high it is no and normal it is yes. Okay, so this will be the execution of the program we have